Well, good afternoon and welcome. I'm John Navaria with the Better Business Bureau of Los Angeles and Silicon Valley. We welcome you from up and down the state to our free workshop for BBB accredited businesses. You may be here because you've heard people throw around the term SEO, or maybe you've heard a competitor talk about the virtues of Google search. I was thinking about this a little bit, and it occurred to me that at least in my case, there's often a disconnect between how we view Google as consumers and how we view it as a business owner. Now, I know from experience that as a consumer, besides the BBB website, Google's the first place I go when I want to find a business, any kind of business. My consumer brain is hardwired to Google, it seems like. But my business brain sometimes forgets that and maybe has trouble understanding how Google can help my business by attracting more consumers like me. It all seems kind of complex at times. That's why we're joined by an expert today who can demystify Google and many other things. But we're delighted to have Rathna Ramakrishnan. She's a Grow with Google digital expert who will give us 3 no-cost strategies to help you help your business during these challenging times and beyond, we hope. So I hope you'll find this time with Rathna well spent and a great value. Rathna, let me turn it over to you.
Thank you, John. Thank you to you, and thank you to the Better Business Bureau for having me. And thank you to all you amazing business owners for taking time out of your day to hang out with me for this next hour. So I'm going to jump right in and get started. I'm going to share my screen. What I would recommend is, as I'm speaking, if there are pertinent questions that are popping in your head with respect to your business that you want to ask me, I recommend that you drop it into the chat box. If you don't want to share it with everyone, there's a way for you to just message me. And during the presentation, I will make time to look at those questions and answer those questions. If the group size doesn't get much larger, we might be able to have live Q&A where you can ask me questions and I can answer back. But for the sake of everybody's time, I'm going to ask you to please start dropping any questions that pop in your head into the chat box. All right, so could you confirm for me that you're seeing my slides? 3 no-cost things you can do to grow your business. Got it? Okay, very good.
I see them.
Excellent. So let me start the presentation.
I'm not seeing slides.
It's just loading. So is everybody seeing us on your screen or my screen that says 3 no-cost things you can do to grow your business during uncertain times?
Yes.
John? Okay, very well. All right. So I want to open up with a fun question. Why do digital marketers love to shop at Whole Foods? What comes to your mind when you think about Whole Foods? Pricey, owned by Amazon. Why do we choose to go and buy food from good stores? Because they have a lot of what is called organic content. Just like the way when you think about your own body, you want to nourish it with organic food, right? Healthy choices. Similarly, for your own business, you want to think about your organic sources of traffic. When I say traffic, it's potential leads. People that are interested in your product or service. How do you know what's going on with your business when you think about the term organic? Organic as in, how are people finding you on Google search? If you're an accountant, if you're a locksmith, if you're a painter, if you're a life coach, no matter what business you're in, if I, as a consumer, am searching for you, how are people finding you? This information sits inside Google Analytics, which is a free tool that every website should connect themselves to. So the number one thing that you should do as a business owner, or you should know, is that your amazing website that you probably spent a couple of $1,000s or more to build is connected to Google Analytics. If it is connected to Google Analytics, we know who is coming home or who is coming to your website. When you go into Google Analytics, this is the dashboard for one of my customers. You can see how they are acquiring the people that are coming to their website. There's direct, organic search, social, referral, other, and email. Direct is when somebody knows your brand. If we had the luxury to go and look at Amazon or Home Depot's analytics and we looked at it, this direct traffic will be huge, because how do we function as consumers? We go in and we type www.amazon.com and we go and we shop. That is called a direct search. When you are a business that is recognized in your community, that has ample customers that you're already serving, your direct traffic will be large, because when somebody is seeking your product or service, they are going to a search window and typing the name of your business. Painting service, your specific business, mmmconstruction.com, right? When people don't know your specific brand name, they are going to a search window, the famous search window that we all use innately, million times a year. People go in and they type in accountant near me, construction service near me, locksmith near me, like whatever service that they are seeking at that time, they go and they search. When they search, if people land on your website, that is called organic. And so of all the numbers as a business owner, you can't really control whether people are remembering your brand name and thinking about you when they're trying to go, get a garage door repaired or find an accountant. You can't really control people's memories as to how they remember you and go and use your name in a direct search. However, what you can control is when somebody is searching for you, are you being found on search? Are they coming home to your website? And so this organic search, today, if it is, let's say you have 10 people coming to your website, it's really simple to have 70 people, 700 people, 7,000 people. And in this case, as example here, we have 3,000 people coming to this website. What will it do for you if you could convert 5% of the 3,000 people that come to your website? So the first thing that you want to know is your website connected to Google Analytics? If it is connected, how many people are coming to your website via organic search? This is a number that is important for you to be curious about and for you to know, because if you don't know whether you're being found on search, then you're losing out on a huge market that you can be serving. So what we're going to focus on today is to uncover the habit that is blocking your marketing results. We're going to understand how you can stop wasting money and time on marketing tactics that do not work, and understand the importance of a Google My Business profile and an execution plan. And I will also briefly talk about who is eligible to be Google guaranteed. And all of this, if you do it, it is free to do. If you implement it well, you are going to find customers and people are going to call you before they call your competition. I'm going to request that everybody please mute yourselves. I heard some background noise, so feel free to, if we get to a Q&A where you need to ask questions, you can unmute, but please mute yourselves. All right, so before we dive in, I just want to introduce myself and give you a little bit of perspective as to who I am and why you should be listening to me. 7 years ago, I started a children's education business here in the Bay Area. It is a spring and summer camp business where children come in and they're entertained through Lego, robotics, and financial literacy. Financial literacy as in Money 101 programs where they come in and they learn about the stock market and savings and spending. 7 years ago, I was like every other business owner. Had an idea, wanted to start a business, wanted to build a website, looked at the various options that sit out there, Wix, Squarespace, Kajabi, WordPress, put together my first website. And then I said, now what? I have all of these fantastic education ideas. How are people going to find my business, my programs? How are families, parents that are interested in sending their children going to find my programs and send their children? That's what set me down the path of mastering everything related to digital marketing, because the information sits out there. So what differentiates me is that I am not just another digital marketer. I have tried and tested every tip and tactic that I teach and I share with other business owners. And through the process of what I was able to achieve, I was profitable from year one. I hit $1 million in revenue in year 3. And so Anybody can generate leads online, but you need to have a strategy. And so when I figured out what I could do with having a website, having a program, and reaching people, and let me tell you, the summer camp business is very competitive. There's a new business just cropping up left, right, and center. Every summer, somebody's coming up with an idea. And so if you really need to stand out and capture that, that parents' brain attention so they sign up their child to come to a program, it takes a lot of concerted digital marketing. So this led me down the path of tying myself with Google. So I'm a Grow with Google partner. What that means is I have direct access into Google's small business team, which is headquartered here in Mountain View, California. And what I'm able to do is, if your website's not showing properly on search, if you have some issues with your online presence, I'm able to troubleshoot and help you. And so that has become a mission for me, where I want to help 10,000 small business owners unbox the true potential of your business using data. And when I say data, it's that organic number, right? What is that number? It's not just analytics, or it's, oh my God, I don't know, I'm not really good with numbers. It is valuable information about people, potential customers that are interested in you, interested in your product or service. Therefore, I've been collaborating with Better Business Bureau, score variety of organizations to basically get the message out as to the importance of how anybody can generate leads online. Through the process of building my business, I came up with this strategy, which is called a digital dominance drive. I really believe anybody can dominate the niche that you choose to serve in. However, you need a strategy. And the strategy is driven by the DRIVE, where you define, you review, you identify, you verify, and then you execute. The definition is really important as to how you're going to be found online, because what that does for you is that it helps you attract your potential customers, your potential leads organically online. The number one mistake that small businesses make is they think about an idea, put together a website, go put together a Facebook account. They think, oh, maybe Facebook's not the right portal. I need to be on Instagram. And then, okay, nothing's happening. Like, how am I finding my next client? All right, let me spend some money on ads. It is too soon to be spending money on ads. If you look at this cycle here that I'm sharing, you are only ready to run ads when you are in the verify stage. There are so many other things for free that you can be doing for your own business and enjoying the benefits of your phone ringing, putting money in your bank, but you need to have all of these systems in place. Number one, you need to care about your organic traffic. If you have a website and you're relying on your website is not just a fancy gadget. It's not like a pretty handbag that's, part of your outfit. What is your website doing for you? So be curious. What is the analytics showing you? Are there people coming to your website? If they're not coming to your website, what's going on? Do you have a Google My Business profile claimed? Is your website digitally plumbed? What is digital plumbing? Having your Facebook pixel installed. You can go and open a Facebook account, but whether people are coming from your Facebook account to your homepage, therefore, maybe wanting to have a conversation with you to be your customer, you can track, because there is a pixel that is for free that you can take and install on your homepage. So it's plumbing. You can't just build your website and say, I'm ready. You got to build your website and you got to throw it out into the World Wide Web and connect it with Bing and Yahoo and Google and Facebook, right? That is what is digital plumbing. Is your website digitally plumbed? Have you ever thought about how people search for you? That's a keyword analysis. Have you decided on, one or two social media portals? There's only so much time and bandwidth that we have as business owners. Pick a few social media portals, put in your effort, look at the data. Is it driving anybody to come to your website? If not, it's just a waste of time for you to just have a plan and keep posting on Facebook or Instagram. Is it converting to revenue? At this point in time, if you are plumbed, you've thought about how people search for you, you have your Google My Business profile launched, you can get to $100,000 in revenue. Next, you go and you spend on SEO, you go analyze your analytics, figure out your competition. Like I said, entrench your website into all the directories that are relevant to the kind of niche that you serve in. Then you think about lead generation organically. When you think about lead generation, when you have these 3,000 people coming organically to your website, you need to have a clear call to action on your homepage. Because think about it, 25 times 0 is 0, 2,500 times 0 is 0. And so you can do all the SEO in the world and get 10,000 people to your website. But if you don't have a clear strategy or a clear call to action, Google will bring people home. What are you doing with the people that come home? Are you serving them coffee? Are you inviting them for a sleepover? What are you doing with people that are coming home? You need to have a plan. And that is where the funnels start, where you can have a strategy and say, somebody comes, I'm going to get their email address, or I'm going to give them an easy way to book an appointment with me. And so that's where you're identifying what is it that you have the infrastructure for. If you're a solo business owner, do you want to take phone calls or do you want to do emails? So you identify your lead generation funnel, fine tune your social media content to reflect what actions you're doing. Perhaps by this time you have some email addresses, then you should be doing newsletters, looking at your reputation management, because already you are in business. So you have a few customers. Have you made the time to get some reviews from them? Because every business owner has a raving fan. So have you made a plan to get those reviews? If you've gotten those reviews, what have you done with those reviews? Are you tooting your own horn? If you got a 1-star review, hey, it's a fact of life. You know, you can't please everybody in the world. It's okay to get 5-star reviews and 1-star reviews. How are you reacting to that 1-star review? Have you replied to that customer that was upset and posted something about you that they were unhappy with your service? Have you really made an operational change? Because when a customer complains, there is a basis to it. And as a business owner, if you really want to succeed, you want to take it to heart and act on it, because then you're not going to get that complaint a second time. The verify portion is where now you're ready for ads. You know, when you do the SEO, people come home, you have a plan, you collecting email addresses, you're communicating with your customers. Now you can say, okay, I'm ready. I'm going to go do ads. In my opinion, every business owner should be running ads, because if you really want to scale to, large numbers of revenue, you have to spend money to make money. Do you have to spend money right away? No. There's all of these things that you can put in place to be sure that you are at a point where you're ready to go and start spending money on ads. Now at the execute stage, you've identified the vital few tactics. You're not going to have the confusion of, do I need to be on Facebook? What am I doing? Am I doing SEO? You're going to have a nicely dialed marketing plan. Why is this a cycle? Because digital marketing is not something where you tell yourself, hey, this month I'm in the mood for digital marketing. I'm going to see what it does for me. We're going to, post on Facebook, maybe do a little bit of SEO. You are in it. It's a marathon. You are in it. It's not a sprint. You're in it for the long run. You have to commit to the 2 or 3 things that you can afford. Anything that's free costs time. If you're spending money, it should be converting to direct leads. If not, you're wasting your money. So figure out what you want to do, put the plan together, run it. Run with it for 6 months, run with it for 9 months, run with it for a year. You have to give it time to accelerate. So then you know exactly what's working. Stop, figure out what you need to do, start over. So basically it's a cycle where you'll be in the attract phase, where you will just be attracting people to your universe. You'll begin automating more and more as to how you're going to interact with the people that are coming into your universe. And then you're going to accelerate and reach your revenue numbers. So this is the clarity that I got from scaling a business from scratch as to digital marketing is a cycle where your business sits in the heart of it, and you have to commit to the vital few tactics, do it consistently over and over. And if you take shortcuts, you're just going to be burning money, right? There's no right or wrong. You're going to be burning money if you just build a website and say, I'm going to go run Google ads or Facebook ads. So 3 things I know for sure from scaling a business from scratch. Anyone can generate clients online. However, you must customize, and business can be easy. If you're feeling burnt out saying, why am I not getting that next lead online? Because you don't have a strategy in place. So let's uncover the habit that is blocking your marketing results, right? So this falls under the very first step. You're so busy doing, you don't know what's getting you results, right? We're all guilty of this. Hey, I'm a member of the Better Business Bureau. I'm on Angie's list. I have Yelp reviews. What is driving traffic? Where are you getting your clients right now? What is your number one source? If you have a number one source that's working well for you, one, you need to do more of it, but two, you also need to be building that backbone of organic traffic, because if you are in business for the next 2 years, just go run your ads, do the things, go. But if you're in this for the long run where you want to scale a business, be in it for 10 years, 15 years, you always have to think about the first step, which is the defined step, where you need to have a strategy in place to keep getting that organic traffic into your world. So if you are so busy that you don't know where your leads are coming from, then you have an issue. So does your amazing business or website really exist? Do you know if the World Wide Web knows that your business exists? Think about it. Every day somebody wakes up, comes up with an idea and builds a website and launches it. Just launching a website doesn't mean that the World Wide Web knows that you exist, doesn't mean that the Google algorithm knows that you exist. The Google algorithm, for a simple analogy, is very similar to a conventional library. Think about a library that is just stocked with books. In a conventional library, there is a librarian. The role of the librarian is to receive the books through the front door, catalog the books, put them on the appropriate shelf. You as the consumer, you come along and you say, well, I'm in the mood to learn how to bake today, so I'm going to look for a book on baking. Or you have a toddler, so you want to find a picture book. You go into the catalog, you find the book, you check out the book, and off you go. Now, if the Google algorithm is similar to a library, and the books in the Google library are your websites, unlike a conventional library where the books are coming in through the front door, in the Google's world, somebody wakes up, comes up with an idea, just thousands of websites are just coming in through the back door. They're coming in so fast that the Google algorithm, the library of all the websites, has to rapidly take those books, catalog them, and say, okay, this is accounting, this is, garage service, this is construction, right? And catalog you. That cataloging happens if you have prepared your website to be best friends with the Google algorithm. Because once you're cataloged, then the algorithm, which is basically AI, it's software, it uses 200 factors or signals to catalog you. It's going to pull your book, your website off the shelf and push you to the top of search when somebody comes and searches for you. So if you just put together a website and say, okay, I'm done, where are my customers coming from? They are not going to come because you have not even entered the Google's library. You have to catalog yourself and then you have to sit there on that shelf, and the algorithm repeatedly, how is the algorithm repeatedly knowing you are who you are? By using keyword pertinent content that you're posting on your social media portals, on your blog. You're talking about a service, new service that you've added to your website, because the algorithm is tuned to read all of that text that you're posting. And it says, okay, this construction company, I know them. I know where they are. I know which zip codes they serve. I know that they're interested in traveling 50 miles. Well, how does the algorithm know all that? Because you spent the time telling the algorithm what your area of service is, who are your people, right? So it's important that you make sure that your amazing business exists. How do you do all this? Have your digital plumbing set up? Is it connected to Google Analytics? Is your Facebook pixel installed? There is something called custom audiences that you can set up on Facebook. And it's going to give you information about who are the people that are coming in. Because today, don't be ready to run Facebook ads. If you're not plumbed and you get ready to run Facebook ads, you're not going to have this information if your website is not plumbed. Have you submitted to directories? Is your website indexed? When you go look at the URL, does it start with the HTTPS because it's secure? The algorithm does not like unsecure websites. So you can do all the amazing things, but if you have a WordPress website and you don't have the security plugin, you're not going to rank on the Google algorithm. So these are free things that you can do, or things that you should have done if somebody that built your website understands how to interact with the Google algorithm. So you want all of this in place. So I wanted to share with you an example of one of my clients. Came to me, just the usual entrepreneur life, rushing around, concrete jobs, each about $10,000. Doesn't know where the next client's coming from, referrals working great, got a few reviews here and there, wanted to, build his team, just didn't want to be waiting for the phone to ring, put together a strategy, and his business doubled, right? Because he was able to get a work-life balance, build a team, You got to know where your traffic's coming from, do more of what's working, and then quit wasting your money on what's not working. The second thing is understand how you can stop wasting money and time on marketing tactics that do not work. So in order to understand marketing tactics, we're going to go into the second part, which is where every business owner goes and spends money on. When I speak to business owners, they're like, oh, I've done SEO. I've spoken to an SEO expert. I've done SEO, right? Before you do SEO, this is something that I hear from a lot of business owners where they say, oh my God, SEO, search engine optimization. Like, what is this? I know I need it. I'm not interested in learning about it. I've spent thousands of dollars on it. It's not done anything for me. Search engine optimization is basically how you are finding your customers. When you think about how you're finding your customers, don't you find, happy and excited to learn about that? So forget about all of this digital marketing acronym that says SEO, blah, blah, whatever, right? It basically boils down to push marketing or pull marketing. Push marketing, as you can see, the dollar symbol, is when you get your message in front of potential customers not looking for your services, like running ads, spending thousands of dollars in SEO. You are hoping to be found on the World Wide Web. When people are not looking for your service, your ad is actually an interruption. How many times do you click on stuff? So just randomly running ads is not going to work for you because you are pushing yourself into people's universe when they are really not seeking you. On the flip side, so some of the things that you do for push marketing are Google ads, Facebook ads, launch a program, feeling desperate that you want more people to sign on, put out discounts, go sign up for another fancy, email marketing tool, start putting out newsletters, conduct specific webinars. Just do, you go through a variety of things saying, I'm going to charge people for everything. So then if somebody comes and pays $150, then they're probably going to sign up. I'm going to give them a discount of $50, then maybe they're going to be attracted to me. You see how all of this involves push. Versus pull marketing is when you get your message in front of potential customers actively looking for your services. And who is doing the pulling for you? The Google algorithm. Because if you're cataloged, if you're indexed, and somebody is looking for you, they are going to be pulled into your world by just Google showing you on their search, when on their own time, when they are looking for their product or service. The probability of that lead converting into a customer who is pulled into your universe is way higher than you spending hundreds of dollars on ads and saying, okay, somebody's going to click on my ad. What is my cost per click? Let me tweak my ad. Let me analyze my keywords or pay, another digital marketing agency to do my ads. Versus think about the basics of how many people are coming to your website. If last month 70 people came to your website organically, how can you get it to 150 people the next month? Have you done the work, the basics to get that traffic into your website? Because the more people that come into your universe, then if you have a good product or service, you can convert them. So what are some of the pull things that you can do? You can have a lead capture form on your page, right? When somebody comes home, you can make it really easy for them to have a conversation with you. You can have referral. So if you are a member of the Better Business Bureau, it's a wonderful thing to have. But the Google algorithm doesn't know that you're spending whatever X dollars a year to be a member of the Better Business Bureau. How do you tell the Google algorithm? You put the logo of your accredited membership on your website, link it back to the Better Business Bureau of the Silicon Valley and Los Angeles, or whichever Better Business Bureau you're a member of. And then that's how you're pulling people. So when people go to the Better Business Bureau and they look for you, it's already talking. You see how you're plumbed now? You're talking back and forth between the memberships that you're connected to and your own website. SEO tactics. Do you have free things that you've done? Have you keyword analyzed? Have you done your on-site SEO? Are your photos on your website named properly? Are the size of your files appropriate on your website? So you're not just losing people to your website not loading. Simple things that when people are pulled into your universe, they're going to want to have a business transaction with you. Social media marketing. Social media marketing is something that every business wants to do, but you are better off having presence on Google My Business versus just Facebook and Instagram, because I'm going to talk about Google My Business here in a second. You are going to be on the search page if you are on a Google My Business profile. So if you can do keyword analyze posts on a Google My Business profile, you're going to get better return on investment versus just trying to go and say, oh, crickets, I'm just posting on Facebook, nobody's looking at my post. So even with social media marketing, you want it to be data driven. In Facebook, if you have a page, you can go look at your engagement statistics. Even though it feels like it's crickets and nobody's really commenting or liking your post, you can see the engagement. So if you have 900 people that are engaging with your posts, hey, it's worth it for you to have somebody create those posts and push it on Facebook, because they're just silent observers. Once you have an offer that speaks to them, they're going to convert to a client. And so it's worth it for you to be persistent. But you have a mega social media strategy. You're trying to pull people into your universe. It's not happening. You got to stop and go see your data and make an informed, intelligent decision and say, you know what? I don't think Facebook is where we need to be spending our time and money. Because everybody feels like everybody's on Facebook and you want to be there, but you don't need to. For businesses that are serving a certain niche, like people that are associated with the Better Business Bureau, unless you know you've run Facebook ad campaigns and you know it's worked for you in the past, which may be tied to the geography that you serve, you don't need to be putting money into Facebook ads. You can just do a ton of things on your Google My Business profile and get those leads in. Online reviews, right? How do we function when we go and we shop on Amazon? Be it a brush or a pair of shoes, the first thing that your eye is drawn to is the star rating. Is it a 4.5 star? Is it a 5 star? And then you make your decision, right? So it's important for you to have a plan in place that you are able to pull people so that they have a chance to review your social proof. It's called social proof, right? When somebody can have proof socially and say, hey, there's 10 other people that have bought from this person and these are the reviews. And let me tell you, if you are on Google My Business, if you have reviews and you have 2-star, 3-star ratings, it doesn't matter. It is not going to impact your ability to scale your business or find that next customer. I could probably teach an entire workshop on Yelp and how that Yelp algorithm works. But the thing that you want to tell yourself is, I need an online review management strategy, because online reviews pull people, your correct people, to you so that they can become your customer. If you have reviews that you're not pleased with, reply to those reviews. Have a strategy where you're just replying to every review, because who are you trying to be ultimately best friends with the Google algorithm? The Google algorithm likes it when business owners reply to every comment. And so if you're replying to every comment on your Google My Business page, then the Google algorithm is going to say, okay, I see, this is what these people do. This is what happened in this interaction. Catalogs it, indexes it, sits on that shelf waiting for somebody to come and find you. And so you can train and teach the Google algorithm to be best friends with your reviews. So don't let a few here and there reviews bring you down, because it's just a fact of life. You can't please everybody. Once somebody comes home, you want to have at least one funnel in place. What is a funnel? Where you're just pulling people through the actions that you want them to take. Google My Business, I'm going to talk about networking and trade shows. Think about it, even though it was a paid activity pre-pandemic, when we attended networking and trade shows, there was a specific niche of people that were already pulled to that networking or trade show, right? So when you went there and you marketed yourself, you would get a return on investment. So think about all the pull marketing that you can do, because when you're doing pull marketing, you're not pushing yourself. People are already pulled into you. Now you need to have a strategy where you're able to convert them. So what is a funnel? Basically, somebody comes to your website, they have awareness of you. Something has brought them home. It's gold if you are able to drive the traffic to your homepage, which means they're interested in you. You need to help them make a decision and take an action. Your call to action on your website needs to be really quick and really simple. Is it a form that you want people to complete if they need your help? Is there a phone number? Do you have a team that's answering the phone? You want to have a clear plan as to how you're going to help people decide, because what the pull strategy is going to do is your phone is going to ring. And if you have a Google My Business profile, it's going to exactly tell you how many people are coming from organic search and calling you. So then do you have a strategy? Do you have a text service? You need to have a plan where you're helping people make a decision. And the action is where they open up their wallets and they want to do business with you. And again, in analytics, you can go in and you can look at the different things that you're doing, the pull strategies that you're doing, and you can get information as to what is working out. So here is an example of one of my clients. They were just spending a lot of money on ads, right? Just generic Google ads, Facebook ads. Their traffic was coming from Yelp. Majority of the traffic is coming from Yelp. So when we took the dollars and we put it into Yelp ads, they were able to get more customers. And so even when you're spending money, you want to make intelligent decisions about, is that money really driving leads for me, right? And is it worth it for this business to be on Facebook? Absolutely. They have 201 people. I believe this is weekly data. They have 201 people coming to their website from Facebook. Instagram, perhaps not so much. They did not even have a Pinterest account. And so if 4 people were coming in from Pinterest, we launched a Pinterest strategy. Twitter, you know, how many places can you be? Here, right here, your analytics will tell you what's working. And if Yelp is pulling a lot of people in, it's because the business has a lot of reviews. It's a kind of business where people go to read Yelp reviews. And so if you wanted to have a small budget on Yelp ads and spend on it, this number is going to skyrocket. It's going to be worth your spend. And so even with the pull tactics, the point I'm trying to make is that it is not if I feel that this is a good strategy for me. Go look at your analytics, go figure out where your traffic's coming from, do more of where already you're getting your people from, because that is what is going to convert that lead to a client. Again, one more of my clients, daycare center, was just spending a lot of money on marketing, looked at their spend, and this is the example of where, because they're a daycare center, they had a lot of reviews on Yelp, but they were running Facebook ads. When we took the money and we routed it to Yelp ads, because they were already getting a lot of people from Yelp, they were ranking higher on Yelp, their phone was ringing more, they were able to sign up more children that wanted to come to the daycare center. So you want to have a strategy even with your pull marketing as to who is coming, where are they coming from, what is the plan that I have for them to decide and then work with me, want to do business with me. Now let's move into the importance of a Google My Business profile and an execution plan. So your customers call you before your competition. So if, many business owners that I speak to, there are 2 kinds. One, they don't have a Google My Business profile. If you don't have a Google My Business profile, you're just losing out on free real estate. And I'm going to explain to you here in a second what I mean. If you have a Google My Business profile and you're putting together like random social media strategies, don't waste your time. You want to be creating content on Google My Business, because that's how you're going to be found in the Google library when somebody is looking for you. Again, this falls back to the define. So the free things are typically between B and R. You want to have all of this in place. Then you go run your ads. You're going to reach your revenue goals. So as an example, if you went to a search page and you just search for any query, this real estate, this is what I mean by search page real estate. If your business does not pop up right away, you are losing out on so many organic leads that can be coming into your website. So if you search for your business and on any search page and this place is blank, it means you have not claimed your Google My Business profile. A business that has a Google My Business profile claimed is going to look like this, where there's a panel that shows up. Immediately people have an option to click on the website, take an action, make a decision. And so do not be losing out on this real estate, go claim it. Why is it important? Think about a search page. I'm going to walk you through the anatomy of a search page. And just for the sake of this example, I just searched for electricians near me. When I search for electricians near me on the very top of a page, now that I'm walking you through the anatomy of a search page, the next time you are on a Google search page, your eyes are going to immediately be drawn to these different sections of the search page. So there is the first, what Google shows are the Google guaranteed. You see the green check mark? And so what Google has done is, think about what Google's goal is, right? As business owners, we have goals on who we want to serve, what we want to do, how we want to make our revenue. Similarly, Google wants to be the world's best search engine, right? Which means they have to provide high quality, relevant, pertinent information to anybody that's searching. When they launched the Google My Business program, where people could go and claim a little piece of real estate on a search page, there were many business owners that started gaming the system and saying, well, I'm a roofer that works in, Antioch, California, but I don't mind driving up to San Francisco. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, create one Google My Business profile for that city and another Google My Business profile for this city. And perhaps, I don't mind driving out another, 250 miles to Tahoe. So I'm going to like have one more Google My Business profile. Pretty soon it got really complex where now Google was relying on the business owners to give them the information. So today, if you want to go and claim your Google My Business profile, it's not as simple as, you go to the website, click on it and launch your profile. Google will verify that you are indeed a business owner, offering the service that you're promising to serve people, because they are not interested in cluttering up their algorithm with just a variety of random businesses that are just trying to game the algorithm. So every business can only have one panel, unless, you're an example that comes to mind is if you're a realtor and you're tied to an agency, then realtors within that agency are allowed to have their Google My Business. So now Google My Business has a very clear strategy as to how you can acquire that real estate on a search page. The next thing that Google did, I believe in the fall of 2019, was they rolled out this program called Google Guaranteed. Google Guaranteed is basically businesses that are backed by a real human, like you and I, hopes, dreams, aspirations, wanting to serve people. So there is a process where you can go and apply and be Google Guaranteed. After your Google Guarantee, these businesses that are showing up, what they have decided to do is they have decided to run ads. And so if you think about the search page, as soon as you search the guaranteed people, where Google runs a background check on the owner, they check your license, they know you are who you are, and this is available to a variety of niches, right? So these businesses are the first ones that land on the Google Guaranteed. The next are ads, the Google ads, people that are just running the cost per click, the PPC ads. So Google Guaranteed, the ads, then you're going to see what is called a local or 3-pack. We have all seen this. Now that I have named it for you, your eye is going to catch it every time you go to a search page. A local or 3-pack, these businesses that are landing on this 3-pack is not by chance. Let's say you're out with your friends, hanging out at a park, the good old days when we could just go to the park, meet friends. Everybody's like, okay, I'm hungry now. Let's go get some lunch. What are you in the mood for? Oh, hell, let's get some Italian food. What do we tend to do? Grab our phones, go search for Italian food near me. And what shows up, the near me, is what is called a local or 3-pack. How does this local or 3-pack launch? Or why does somebody land on a local or 3-pack? Every business has the potential to land on a local or 3-pack because this is geo-specific, right? If somebody is searching for you, if you have set your parameters in the Google My Business profile to a 30 to 50 mile radius and you want to be shown, and you've claimed your profile, verified it, optimized it, have a posting plan in place, have collected reviews. Look who's showing up higher, somebody that has 21 reviews versus somebody that has 1 review. All of this has a play. And it doesn't matter that this person is not 5 stars, but they have a plan in place, which is why they are showing up on the 3-pack. Okay, so now think about the anatomy of a search page. You got the Google Guaranteed, you got the PPC ads, you got the local or the 3-pack. Then you get the remainder, right? So even with the remainder, the people that have tied themselves to Yelp, Home Advisor, Thumbtack, Better Business Bureau, they will come on the search page. Below that, at the end of the day, Google's a business, you will see more ads on the bottom. So every search page will be bookended by ads on the top and the bottom. Guaranteed ads, local or 3-pack, things that are collaborations where people are paying for the connections, more Google ads. Now on page 2 is when the SEO stuff is going to kick in. The point that I'm trying to make here is that every business owner can be on this 3-pack. And this doesn't happen by chance. You need a plan in place. You put down a plan in place, you are going to see how you are getting 5,000, 10,000 people to your website from the 3-pack. And if you're a local business, if you're interested in, serving in a 100-mile radius, you must be focusing on your 3-pack. And I'll tell you, it's just a matter of time. With the pandemic, Google has been rolling out so many added features to the Google My Business profile. Are you a Black-owned business? Are you a woman business? Are you a minority business, right? And the algorithm is being trained to showcase based on, so Google's trying to be fair to showcase based on what's happening in the world. And so if you don't put yourself in there, choose your appropriate categories, you are losing out on a ton of organic leads that you can be getting directly from the search page. So now let's look at the anatomy of a Google My Business profile, right? You have the option to showcase a photo, you can get your reviews, you can do what are called quick links where people can just click on your profile, you can describe your category, where do you serve, what's your description. Up-to-date business profiles, right, that have a Google My Business profile are 2.7 times more likely to be considered reputable. You need not be the best in the industry that you serve. You need not be the most amazing. But if you have a Google My Business profile, when somebody searches for a service, if you have a panel that pops up, you immediately become more credible. 90% of customers are more likely to visit a business that has photos on a search results page, right? If you're not a store, if you're an accountant, you can still have photos. If you're comfortable with putting your face on your Google My Business profile, humanize your brand, put a picture of yourself, or talk about a process. How do you, what is different in the way you as an accountant or a lawyer, how are you different in how you serve your people? Talk about your strategies, right? Because the more photos you have, Google's going to showcase you better. And the cool thing is in a Google My Business profile, you can come back and say, see which of your photos are getting more views. It's going to say 532 people are looking at photo 1, 10 people are looking at photo 2. Now you have insights, right? You're able to look into your customer's brain or your potential customer's brain because you know how that lead is working and why are they drawn to this photo. If you were a restaurant, are you showcasing a specific burrito? So perhaps people are searching for burritos. If it's a specific service that you have, why are people looking at those photos? There's so many stories that your Google My Business Insights can give you. Up-to-date profiles are 70% more likely to attract location visits and 50% more likely to lead to a purchase. And the cool thing about the Google My Business is that it's tied to Google Maps. You don't have to do anything. You claim your profile. It's immediately connected to Google Maps. And because it's connected to Google Maps, it's going to geographically show you when people are looking for your product or service. If you are a brand new business owner, because my promise is that you can do no cost things. If you're a brand new business owner, you have an idea, you're sitting on your idea saying, well, I don't exist because I don't have the money to put together a website. You can go ahead and create what is called a one-page website inside your Google My Business profile, and you are live. You can have a www. whatever you want to name your business. You're live. There's it's not as functional as a WordPress or a Wix or a Squarespace website, but hey, this is one of my clients where we just put together the one page. They're a bakery, right? They don't need a humongous website. On the flip side, if you're a business that already has a website, you should not, I'm going to repeat myself, you should not try to create the free website inside a Google My Business profile, because think about it, you are training and teaching the algorithm what you want it to do. If you have a real website, real as in a Squarespace, Wix, or a Kajabi WordPress website, and you go and build yourself a free website, now the algorithm is going to say, what am I doing? Where do you want me to send people, right? So if you've already spent time and money and you have a good website, that is where you want it to be. And if you really want to be in the business game for the long run, you need a website. However, if you're a business owner with a dream or an idea, and the lack of a website is what is stalling you from dreaming bigger, it's really easy for you to just pull together a one-page website and have some calls to action. It's not going to be the prettiest. You can match it with your colors. There's not a lot of edit capabilities, but think about it. This website, you don't need any SEO. It's already sitting there on the search page inside your Google My Business profile. And you'll actually be able to see how many people are coming to the website, what searches, what activities they're doing. So why I like to share this is if you're a business owner that doesn't have a website and that's stalling your dreams, don't wait. You can claim your Google My Business profile, launch your website, and you are official, because many business owners, we feel that once we have a website, we somehow feel more official and like all grown up when it comes to running a business. Pick your theme, publish your website. And then once you have this done, it's going to give you so much information about how a search is finding you. What are they doing with your profile? Are they requesting directions? Are they calling you? Are they going to your website? What days of the week are people finding you, right? Because if you have, let's say, an email marketing plan and you keep emailing people. So in my children's education business, I was just randomly sending emails. Then I went and I studied my Google My Business Insights report as to when were people coming to the Google My Business profile. It completely made sense. Parents were shopping for programs in the weekend. I'm a mom myself. I have 2 boys. So Monday to Friday, I'm busy working. And then in the weekend is when you kind of have the time to like talk to my husband, like figure out, okay, what are we doing with the kids? Are we signing them up for programs? And then I started sending out my newsletters to match the time when people were active and looking for programs. My open rate for my newsletters went up. The people that clicked on it, they signed up for the programs, right? So you can take this free insights that sits within your Google My Business. You can massage that data to basically get so many cues as to how people are behaving with your Google My Business profile. And think about it, this is information about what's going on in people's heads. And it's going to give you, every month, it's going to give you the search queries. How are they searching to find your Google My Business profile? Those are your keywords, right? If they are relevant, pertinent, it's going to take a while for you to train the algorithm. Pretty soon, you don't even need to go do a keyword analysis. You will have true search terms by looking at the insights on your Google My Business profile. What days do you have most activity? If you have a lot of activity on Thursdays, right? If you staff up that somebody's answering the phone, you send a newsletter on a Thursday, that is going to convert to business for you. Then Google will start sending you these weekly emails and it'll say 26 people asked for directions. You will have a call log. If you have a way to track your calls, you will have 15 people that called you, 138 people that visited you. How did they visit? I know when I look at the analytics that 138 people visited. What were the search terms that they used for? It's really easy to figure out how people are searching for you and finding you. If you, if you have somebody that does social media for you, or if you think Google My Business is something where you want to start posting, you can add managers. So it's really set up like a social media platform, but it's something that is so ignored by business owners because we're all so big into LinkedIn and Facebook. But if you're a local business owner, if you are a member of the Better Business Bureau, you must be spending some time and energy into your Google My Business profile, because it is going to give you a ton of information as to what's happening in terms of how people are finding you on search. And the more you keep telling this Google My Business profile, this is who I am, this is the event I have, this is the promotion that I'm doing, Google's going to showcase you when somebody is looking for you. So you want to pick, right, based on the age of your business, your goals, right, your ability to spend on ads. You want to pick one of these sections, give it 6 months, do it well, right, then move on. And if you have the capability to do 2 things in parallel, so be it. But don't just be spending on SEO and running ads and then wondering why nothing's happening, because you need to have that basic backbone of that organic traffic set in place. Because once you have that in place, and it takes time, like I said, right? Your Google My Business profile will initially show just random words that people are landing on your website, because the algorithm doesn't know yet what you are, who you are. The more you feed the algorithm what you are, who you serve, then it's going to become more pertinent, the information that you are able to gather from your insights dashboard on your Google My Business profile. So at this time, I'm just going to take a quick break here and see if anybody has any questions. So 1 second. Let me go.
Aradhana, there are 2 questions that have been submitted, now 3 in chat. And if you'd like, I can read them to you so you don't have to search for them.
Please, yeah, that'd be great.
They're
John.
kind of buried in here.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question from Marvin: how can I connect Google Analytics to my website?
So there is a universal tracker that you need to get from your Google Analytics account, and you need to put it on your website. It just varies. The spot where you would put it on a WordPress website versus a Wix website versus a Squarespace website is different. And so it's called a UA code, Universal Analytics code, that you have to take the code and you have to install it. In some cases, it's not a code. It's not just a string of letters. It's a full header, like HTML tag, that you need to get and put it in. And so you can figure out if you're still in touch with your web developer, or if you built your own website and you haven't connected it to Google Analytics. If you don't know whether it's connected to Google Analytics, you can check to ask your person that built it, or you can check to see if you're connected to Google Analytics. You will know as a business owner if your business is connected to Google Analytics, because it has to be tied to a Google account. You should have a password as to how to access it. If not, be curious, go get that login and password. You know, more than anything else, go look at how many people are coming to your website and what plan you have in place. So yeah, it's the installation of a tag. It's a digital tag where you're telling your analytics account, this is who I am. And then there's just marvelous things that you can do inside analytics in terms of setting goals, figuring out if people are using your newsletters. It's just a ton of information. But if you're a beginner analytics user, how am I acquiring my potential leads? It's called acquisition. How am I acquiring them? Be curious about that. Know that, because you are empowered as a business owner if your acquisition numbers are going up. If somebody's doing SEO for you, or if somebody's doing Google ads for you, and your acquisition is not going up, they're not doing anything. They're just taking your money. And I'm not saying that people are doing that, but I have heard this from clients where people say, you know, I've spent so much on SEO and nothing happened. Well, your website is not even connected to analytics. What do you know what that SEO did for you?
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Olga says, we are a nationwide business. We don't want to be tied into one location. So how will it work with a Google profile? They always put in our headquarters location, thus removing all the potential customers from other areas.
No, so Google will allow you to claim local businesses. So, you know, I don't want to go into your specific case, but I'm happy to speak to you. Think about a franchise, right? Just as an example, if you're a Merry Maids or a Kumon, or, you know, one of those franchises that have several locations, you know, they are headquartered, let's say, in New York, but then they have franchisees all over. And so Google allows businesses to have a variety of Google My Business accounts, provided you're able to prove to them that you have a human, right? A franchisee, a licensee, an employee, a human being with hopes, dreams, trying to bring revenue in. You can have any number of Google My Business profiles. So the classic example is realtors, right? The company like Sotheby's Realtors, they have their corporate offices, like let's say in San Mateo, California, and then they have realtors all over. Realtors are allowed to claim their own Google My Business profile, and they actually can connect their Google My Business profile to the home agency. So you see how now you're doing the plumbing where you're talking, right? So for sure, you are not limited by not being able to claim your Google My Business profile. You can claim it for your entire chain. You can set it up. It's actually possible to create posts and push it to all your profiles. So definitely you should be doing that, because if you have so many branches, or then you're serving that specific geography. So you want to be found online.
Okay. And I know it's 2 minutes after the hour, so I have one more question here, and if folks want to hang on, we'll get this question addressed. This is from Christy. My Google business listing had the wrong address, and when I tried to correct it, my listing was suspended. And although I've tried several times, I've not been able to correct and verify the correct address with Google. Can you help me with this?
Yes, I can for sure help you with this. You know, this is one of the things I can definitely help you. So, this is probably a good transition where let me just kind of give you so what's next? You know, if you are no matter what cycle of business you are in, if you're thinking about a marketing strategy, you want to be found on Google, you want me to, you know, if you have questions that you would like me to help you with, I have a URL called growthplancall.com. Just go to growthplancall.com, click on it. My calendar is there. Just pick a time slot with me. And anybody that sets time with me, what I like to do is I have a tool that talks to the Google algorithms. I'm able to run a report of how your business is perceived by the Google algorithm. And so I just like to do this, like put the pressure on you to book a slot with me, because we're all busy. We're all business owners. We go to workshops, we buy a course, we want to do something better for our businesses, and then we just drop the ball. So do it in the next 30 minutes. I'll run what is called a digital snapshot report. And here's an example of how a customized snapshot report will look for your business. Your business will have an overall score. These are the 8 metrics that the Google algorithm cares about. So I can run a customized report for you and share with you. And so in this specific example here, this company has been spending on SEO. They haven't done advertising. Just like in school, you get an A, B, C, F grade, right? And a F doesn't mean that it's bad. An F tells you the opportunities that you have to go work on it. Why is this a C and a D? Because this business has spent time to build a website. But there are some things that can be tweaked on this website to make it a B. They've spent a ton of money on SEO. They're pretty good with reviews, but they need a review management strategy. Social's not big, but hey, social will get you traffic, will get you organic traffic. So we need to put a social plan in place. Listings are huge. If you're just a website hanging out by yourself and waiting for magic to happen, it's not happening. You got to go take your website and entrench it, catalog it in the World Wide Web. Bing, Yahoo, directories for accountants, directories for lawyers is between 79 to 80, 75 to 80 directories for every kind of niche. It's really easy to submit your listings. Then this is going to turn to an A. So if you're not in e-commerce, if you're don't want to spend on advertising, you can still get your overall score to 80%. When you do that, that's when you're doing your 3 no-cost things to be found online, right? You want to tweak all of this. So this is what I can run for you. Each of your special businesses, your customized snapshot report, and it's going to give you clarity as to, sometimes people are spending money on SEO and they land at an F. Why? Because there's no SEO happening. There's no proper keyword analysis done. It's not connected to analytics. If they're spending on advertising, my report will actually show you exactly the keywords and the cost per click. So that's what I do if you set up some time. So then you'll have an opportunity to see which of your efforts is paying off. It's going to give you a list of things that you can take and say, okay, this year, I am going to work on getting more reviews and spend time on social to get that organic traffic in. My website's already a D or a C. I am not yet ready for SEO or ads, right? It's going to give you clarity as to what you can do. So that's what I do when somebody sets up some time. So simply go to growthplancall.com and set up some time with me if you choose to. I'd love to meet you one-on-one, and the specific Google My Business questions and things that you have, I can actually study your business and then give you some pertinent help. I also have a Facebook group. If you are not so inclined to set up a growth plan call and you want to just kind of, hang out with me and other business owners, it's called the Digital Dominance Club. I really believe every business owner can digitally dominate the niche that you're serving in. If you have a strategy in place, or you can follow me on Instagram, again, where I take a teaching tone to share all that I have learned from scaling a business from scratch. I do monthly workshops with a variety of organizations. I actually have people that just come to all my workshops, and it makes me really happy if you choose to do that, because if I'm able to open up your eyes as to how you can scale your business, that's great. So I have a couple more workshops coming up in April. So if you go to my website, you'll be able to see the workshops. And this is one of my favorite quotes as an entrepreneur, right? It's from The Tale of Two Cities. Charles Dickens, the best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness, it was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity, it was a season of light, it was a season of darkness, it was a spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us, right? How many times do we go through these cycles of, yay, I signed on a client? Well, nothing's happening. Like, why is this package not selling? And with the pandemic, I think it's become more hard. Like, we are going through this cycle of emotions. The one thing that is going to save you or steer you and keep your sail, friendly with the wind, is if you are thinking about your organic traffic, and you're always stopping and looking at that cycle of tasks that you're doing to be sure that your actions that you're taking are increasing the number of people coming into your universe. Because it doesn't mean anything, any money that you spend, if you don't have more eyeballs on your business, which is what is going to convert to clients. Leads are going to convert to clients. So that's all I have. I'm happy to hang out a little bit more and answer any questions if you have.
Okay. Christy had a follow-up question. For those who need to leave, I will say thank you again, Rathna. And I'm going to mention that while we were broadcasting here, the Mars rover Perseverance landed on Mars. And I'm not a real big NASA geek or space geek, but it does make me think perseverance is really a theme underlying your presentation, that you have to stick with it. And I think you mentioned it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I will say thank you for everyone joining us. Feature for our BBB accredited business. Thank you for joining us for this free workshop. Please take Rathna's information and use that. And we'll be sending a link to a recording of the webinar to you shortly. And for those who do want to stay on and hear Christy's follow-up question, Christy, if you're still here, we can interact here for another minute or so. And this is something you might want to handle in a consultation or address in a consultation, but she did, yeah.
I think that would be a good choice. So, for the sake of time, let's just, so I'd be happy to speak to you one-on-one. Have a plan. You came to this workshop today. What is one thing you're going to do? Do you have analytics tied to your website? How many people are coming to your website, right? By the end of next week, you should know that. Set yourself a goal so you know that, because that is what is going to help you make all those informed decisions for yourself. So again, thank you, John and the Better Business Bureau, for this opportunity. It was my pleasure to hang out with all of you. I look forward to connecting with a few of you one-on-one. If not, wish you the best. Keep dreaming. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart, but we can do this. So good luck, guys. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.